Majesty, you became king at the young age of 2 years and 4 months. What, if anything, do you remember of that coronation, of that occasion?
It would be very difficult to say that I remember much. I do enjoy looking at the photos and wonder what I was thinking as I looked very strangely as they were placing a crown on my head. The recollections are not many. The recollections for me, when I think back, or I try to think back of that, I just recall being protected. I recall a people that were in the throes of love of a young king. I remember people treating me gently. I look back and I have glimpses of being a very, very young monarch, meeting my brother, the Oba of Benin, as the pictures behind will show. But apart from that, most of my memories would obviously have been of the United Kingdom where I grew up.
Yes, as I say, you then lived abroad for 20 years before returning to the throne. Were the consequences of that long time away from home, good or bad?
One has to understand Nigeria is a very peculiar place. I would say if you do not grow up here, Nigeria can be a very tough place to get to know and to get to understand. So certainly there have been the conflicts. I try to do things slightly differently. I've lived under a democracy in the United Kingdom for a very, very long time. I've had an example of the monarchy over there from the Queen of England herself. So certainly there's not a complete smooth transition. Language has often been a slight issue. Certainly I know that some of my elders have not found it too easy to deal with a strong-minded young man. Of course, Africa is a place where normally the young are seen but not heard. But then all of a sudden you have a situation where there's a very, very young monarch who has a very strong voice. I try to be as respectful to my elders as possible. There have been conflicts, but it behoves on me as a monarch to try and be as understanding as I can. I have seen other parts of the world that many Nigerians have not had the opportunity to see. So I have experiences that many other Nigerians have not had the pleasure of having. That being the case, understanding is very, very important.
You lived in school in England from a very young age, I think the age of 4. How easy or difficult was it to be just another regular kid, given your pedigree and your background?
Well, importantly, at all times, the palace knew who I was in England. At all times, the head of each school knew who I was. But I often tell people, I thank God that people didn't know who I was. I'm very happy for it. I enjoyed it. I might have been a very different person had my father been alive and had I grown up with a silver spoon in my mouth. So I only can thank the Almighty God that I've had the experience that I've had, because it allowed me to see things from another point of view. I was able to see how normal people lived. I was able to see what normal people went through. And that to me is something that I wouldn't exchange for any other experience in the world. I've often said that I think it's very, very important that everybody in power, whether you be a president, whether you be a monarch, once every year, go to somewhere where nobody knows you, so that you remember you are but a man. You are but a man that many people have placed trust in. Trust is a very powerful word. It comes with duties, it comes with obligations. You must remember you are serving people, you are helping people, as well as leading them. So I think it's always very, very important for us as leaders not to lose that humility.
As Your Majesty has said a few times during this interview, the Dein is still a young man, a young monarch. Is youth an advantage in your role as traditional ruler or hindrance?
I suppose you could say it can tend to be both. With myself, particularly, I think I've been quite lucky. I've had the likes of the Oba of Benin, the Oni of Ife, the former Emir of Kano, Adobayero. I've had the likes of the current Sultan of Sokoto. I've had the likes of President Obasanjo, Noel OJ. I've had the likes of Tos Benson. I've had the likes of many people there to give me advice and there to guide me. So that being the case, I've always understood that certainly I am a very young person in usually what is in an elderly person's role. So I have sensitivities towards that, and I try to direct myself as much as possible. But the youth that God has given me has also given me great advantages. If my president wishes me to go and do something on the nation's behalf, or indeed the state needs me to do something on their behalf, I have the legs to do it. I can move around easily. I can try and sell and market this country as much as possible. I can market my people as much as possible. So certainly the youth has been an advantage. And of course, with youth, I look forward to so many things that I still have to learn.
Your Royal Majesty, we thank you for your time.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. And God bless you.
And we thank you for watching. Do follow me on Twitter at ModeleSY, and let's discuss further my conversation with the Dein of Agbo, Dr. Benjamin Ikechukwu Keagborekuzi. You can also watch this and previous editions of our program, View from the Top, on our website, channelstv.com. I ask you to please join me again next time when the program returns. But for now, I thank you and bye-bye.